Right then, hello and welcome to Little Workroom Crafts. My name is Davina, I live in the southeast coast of the UK. Right then, today is actually Tuesday the 4th of July. And I have been waiting, the postman has been and gone and my new needles haven't turned up. So I'm going to do the quilting part of this tutorial for you, just with the chenille needle, but it's going to be a 24 rather than 26, and then I'll show the new ones on Monday. That's what I thought I would do. At least then I can get this tutorial up and on my channel. Okay then, right, so Glenn has just popped off to work. So I think Elmy's gone downstairs. So what I'm going to do is, this is the introduction. So this after this you're going to see what I recorded on Saturday of all the stitchery and all that lot and put it together, and then at the end I will be back. I will go do the hand quilting part, show you what I do there, and then I am gonna do a goodbye. Okay then, right, so it's gonna be a putting it together one today. It really is, this tutorial. I've done a load of cutting this morning, so I have some more of the inners and the outers, and some lovely fabrics that I found in my stash. And obviously I have included the pumpkin one because I have to. I've just got to cut the waddings and then I can start sewing those together. Right then, okay, so let me hand you over to Davina on Saturday and I'll be back soon. Well, hello and welcome to Little Workroom Crafts. As I said before in my latest video, I said I'm going to do a tutorial on how I do my stitcheries, because I'm going to put the stitcheries in the middles of some of my hexagons on my quilt as you go quilt. Okay then, right, so I've got all stuff prepared, set up, and we'll start right away. So first of all, you'll need some low tack masking tape. Okay, I have got a light box, I think what it was called. If you don't have a light box, we live in a light box. Use your windows. Just use a low tack masking tape. Tape the pattern to the window, but tape the fabric on top. Then you draw around. That's what I used to do before. Years ago, I got this gifted to me. So you know what I mean. Conservatories. I haven't got one of those, but normal light from the window works absolutely fine. Okay then, right, so now I'm going to tilt you down and explain to you what I've done so far. Then we'll start the stitching. I think we'll go from there. So I'll be back in a minute. Right then, as you can see, I've chosen one of the designs I'm going to trace, and I've got it taped onto the light box. Now, if you can see, actually what I've done is I've drawn a 5-inch square around the little design, and then obviously I've done a 2.5-inch line across the center like that, 2.5-inch squares. So I've now found roughly, it's not perfect, the center piece of the design. Then I have cut an 8.5-inch piece of fabric that I'm going to use, and I'm going to do my stitcheries on colour this time. Normally I do them on a calico or a cream, but I decided it's going to be a fun quilt, let's do it this way. So I have actually pressed, there we go, and found the centre of my fabric. Then I will lay that on my lines that I have drawn, so I know roughly that's going to be in the centre. Then, as you notice here, I've got a 1/4-inch tape, but obviously normal low tack masking tape will be fine. Right, let's get up and let's put this on here. So tape that to there. So it doesn't have to be spot on, it's just nice to work on a nice central piece of fabric, I find. Right then. Okay, see, now that's all secure. Let's pop that in there. Right then, let's get me tools. Right then, okay, now to actually draw the design onto the fabric, yes, these are permanent. I do know that, but if you're going to use like a size 12 weight thread like I am, or 2 strands of DMC or any embroidery thread, that is thick enough to cover this. Now you do need the 005. Okay, as you see, so fine. I always use the brown. Okay, if you use a black, it's too in your face and it's harder to cover up, and normally these will come obviously in like a red and a green. Yet again, they're too bright. The brown just disappears. Okay, so what you do is that you gently just do your lines. There we are. And then start to trace through the design onto the fabric, just like so. So I'll carry on doing that and I'll be back soon. Turn the box off, see if we missed anything, and that's the way to see. There you go, there's the little house. Wow. Okay, right, so let's take that off. Now if you're going to trace off all your designs, obviously you can reuse your masking tapes. Okay, not a problem there. Right, now this is where the fun begins. So let's move the light box. Wait, let's put you down there for the moment. Right, now, so there's the piece roughly central in on here. So I actually work on a piece that's bigger, that's going to be originally end up original. So as you all know, it is going to go into, let me find, eventually when it's all done, it will fit into the centre hexagon, which it will fit in there absolutely fine. So now what I do is I get a piece of muslin, like so, or you can use a cotton because it's more flexible, or a very, very lightweight iron-on interfacing, and lay that on like so. Put some pins in. Now you will actually be surprised, as you know, when I do my cross stitch, I have to work in the hoop. When I do my stitcheries, I can actually stitch in hand. I don't know why, I just can. Oh dear me. Right, I use a small chenille needle because they are easier, because they're chenille needles. I don't know if you can see that. Anything here? Well, nothing there. Oh, hang on. There we go. See if you can see it there. Has a nice wide eye and it's all, but it has got a point on it, so it will go through the fabric. So let's get my threads, and I am using the Petites number 12 Guttermans, and this is the colourway Rosewood Manor. So let's start, shall we? Let's get a bit of inspiration from the original pattern, which is the Elfin Patch quilt designed by Dotty Doodle, and it actually was a publication by Quilters Haven. Now Quilters Haven no longer exists, but you might find it in a shop, you know, or you know, second hand or something, because it is a pretty little design. Okay then, right, so I'm going to put a bit more colour into mine. So let's go with this one first. Right, okay. Oh, there it is. Right. So it's easy to thread. Now you don't want to take a lot of thread off your spool. It's natural for people to go like that, because then you think, oh, you don't have to change over your thread as often. Trust me. The longer the thread, the more chance it has got of knotting up. So you end up wasting time undoing the knots. I normally go roughly from the wrist to the elbow and do it that way. Okay then, right, now to start, why I put the muslin on the back is basically, so we're going to start about here. So you've got somewhere, there you go. Let's see if I can, I will zoom in when I do my editing, somewhere to put your little knot. Okay, so stitchery is so easy, but it's such a pleasure to do. And basically all it is a little back stitch. Literally, that's what it is. Get my thimble on in a minute. But it is such a pleasure. Where did I put my thimble? On my tin, I think. Yep, I did. Right, there we go. Okay, yep, we're still there, right? As I say, all it is, and once you know, you will get into a rhythm, and you'll be surprised on how quick they the little pieces actually come together. You really will. Rather than having pins like I have, you can tack it on as well. Also for patterns, I've done it before loads of times. A good way of sourcing patterns is children's colouring books, because you can see the design but they're simply drawn out. So just trace off a colouring book, a picture, and go from there if you don't want to go out and buy patterns, basically. So there's all sorts of stuff there, or if you can draw your own, or like my friend Sue, her grandchildren's drawn some pictures, and she's tracing those onto some blocks for her quilt. So you know what I mean, you don't actually have to use quilting patterns, you really don't. So let's keep on going. So then you just pick your colours, have fun. Right then, so if you see there, see that thread is thick enough to cover up that brown, so you don't see any of it comes through from the underneath. As I say, and all it is a little back stitch, and that is it. Okay, just like so. So I'm going to carry on, get this block finished, and then I will be back and show you what I do next. Now, as you see at the beginning here, you have got somewhere to actually put your little knot, or if you want a knot, if not, just over sew it. This is basically what the muslin is there for, and it is obviously such a lightweight it doesn't interfere with the actual finished piece. So when you cast off, you just use the muslin again to cast off through, so it's not actually going through your work. So yeah, this is stitchery. So let me get this bit finished, let me get this done, and then we'll make it into a hexagon. As you see, I sat yesterday and did these, and when this one is finished, all stitched up, I am going to put it into a hexagon, show you how I do the hexagon and what tools I used, because as you know, I try and do it as cost effective as possible, and then I'll show you how I mark it, the actual finished hexagon, for the quilting, and how I quilt it. Okay then, right, so this is obviously the first part, so let's get the stitchery done and then we'll go from there. So I'll be back later. Right then, okay, I'm back. As you can see, I have done a majority, 3/4 actually, of my piece. Now what I just thought I'd pop on to show you is I'm going to just finish off this tree, and then we're going to go and make it into a hexagon. So I thought I would show you how I'm going to do a piece here, how I start my work without a knot. Okay, so leave a piece hanging, use the muslin, that's what it's there for, and then go over the muslin a couple of times, and that is secure. I don't know if you saw any of that. Where am I? Hopefully you did. And basically, to cast off, you just loop it over the thread a couple of times. So let's go here. I haven't actually done stitchery for a while, and doing this is just is such a pleasure. It's so relaxing. It really is. Yeah, I am enjoying it. So just remember, all it is a back stitch. That is it. So it gives enough to cover up your markings. And yes, it is a form of embroidery, but we do use it in our quilts. It's basically stitching with colour, isn't it? Colouring in with your threads, basically, but it is a lot of fun. Right then, nearly there on this piece. I don't even know. Hopefully when I'm editing I'll be able to find out what I'm actually getting here. There we are. I have just ordered actually a couple of packets of smaller chenilles. Now this is all I had, all they had in the local shop in the week, and these are size 18 to 24s. I like a 26 personally. Always remember, when it comes to a needle, a hand needle, it's the higher the number, the smaller the needle, basically. And also I ordered from the same place a lilac fat quarter, because obviously I'd like to do a lilac one. Right, I've just got to do those little bit of lines here. So to cast off, I just go in the muslin, catch the thread, so leave a loop, put your needle through, do it a couple of times, and that is secure enough. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Right then, the piece is finished. the stitchery is done. It's simple, but you can see what it is. So just give it a little bit of a press, like so. And on the back, you see there's no lumps or bumps, just the way I like it. Now if you want it a little bit flatter, use your best press, just from a distance, give it a couple of sputs. And look how flat that comes out with the old best press. It's brilliant. There is some marks you won't, lines you won't get out, but that definitely looks a lot better than it did. So, okay then. Now, let's turn everybody around and we'll get it cut out. Right then, okay, as you can see, I am lucky enough to have a rotating mat. If you don't have a rotating mat, you can still do it. Okay, so try an eyeball. That's on there. Now what you can do, which I probably will actually after doing the stitchery, is, yes, you can cut, but I am going to just lightly draw and then I'm going to cut it after, just to make sure that it's not going to have no slipping with the hexagon. And get a piece of cloth and just wipe your edges. There's nothing come off, but just in case it does. Right, yes, I'm happy with that. Where's my little ruler? Let's get my little ruler. My new rotary cutter, which I'm actually really enjoying, I will say. And cut round. Obviously, if you don't have a rotary cutter, just use a pair of scissors. You know, let's face it, none of this started with rotary cutters, but it would have done with a pair of scissors. So there we are. Right, let's take that away, put that in the bin. Now there's my hexagon. As I say, I am going to leave the muslin on the bottom, on the outside, like so. Now I need to cut a piece of wadding. Where have I know I put it somewhere. There it is. Right, let's get, I don't want to use that cutter. I will use my other one, because the fibres in the wadding do actually blunt your blade. It really does. Okay, we'll pop that there and I'll pick that up in a moment. So that's the wadding one done. Lay that on top. Get rid of the fibres. Now, a little trick. If you now put the iron on this, it actually temporarily sticks. Even though there's no glue or nothing on this, but it will temporarily adhere the wadding to the fabric. And with it being a cotton wadding, well, I'm using an 80/20. That's my favourite. It's you can iron it. You can iron it. So there's that piece done. Now I have been looking at my new fabrics that I got, and I'm going to use that one, I think. So now, as I said, on the back of my fabric, and I have made the template, rather than me trying to cut around this, let's use my pen. And I'm doing it the old-fashioned way of drawing around this. Yep, that's enough for me to see. Okay, get my scissors and rough cut to get rid of the bulk of the fabric while I cut this hexagon to size with, yet again, my little dinky ruler. See how good this colour is. I'm quite impressed. Hand was nice as well, and very decorative. I've never had a decorative one before, so that's even better. So, yep, that goes to there. I just find this way quicker. I know I'm adding a step, but with the drawing round, but I just find it quicker. Right, I'm just going to give this a little press. As you know, I only use a dry iron. Right, now, oh yes, right, okay. Let's move you over here a minute. And I'm going to explain something because I need my pressing mat. Right, now, to find the centres of the fabric, yet again, fold it in half. Point to point, and then only go that side and that side. You don't take away the centre while you're pressing. I actually, after I just did the adhesive part as well, but a little bit of a nick there, and I've already got the centre of that part anyway. Okay, so let's put that there like so. Let's lay that on there, then that, obviously that and that is your centre there, and then you line up these lines here, just the little bits there, and then you know that's your centrepiece. Okay, that is the simplest way I find to do it. So, where's my little sewing? What's it? I am a pinner. I like to pin just while I'm doing this part. Like so. Right then, so let's move me rotary cutter and stuff, and let's show you what I do with the actual hexagon. So let's put you back here. Let's put you here. Right then, so I do use clips to clip things down. I have got my roller, which I know you know I like, my new good toy. Right then, okay, so you fold it over once, but don't go right up to the edge of the hexagon. If you've got a roller, use it. If not, you can finger press or use your iron. Then fold that over like so, and then I put a clip just there. As I say, you can use pins. Just I happen to have the clips, so I use them. So put that there, and then you can line up your corners there. Pop a clip like so. To say, don't go right up to the actual hexagon. There we are. Just put a little bit of pressure on and match that up like so. and put that like that. Lay it nice and flat if you can, but you know, it's a mini quilt. It's gonna have lumps and bumps, just like the rest of us. So there we go. Right, and then that goes there, and that goes over, and then what I do is I pop that there, and then take that first one out and pop that there. Now I'm all pinned and ready to stitch. Now to stitch it up, I use the Aurifil, which is the, what one is it? It's a fine white, 30 I think. Yeah, and this is a cream. Okay, I just like the colour cream. It seems to, I find it blends, for me in my stitching, it blends better. So you put in a little knot, just a little one on this one, and I always find it easier to start in a centre place. So if you start back here and bring your needle up just in front of there, go into the wadding but not into the back, okay, and then there you go, heard that little click, and now you've fixed that, that'll iron out that little bump, and then you fix that into the wadding, and then I'm going to have to right, then you go behind that stitch and don't go through the back. Again, you don't go through the back. It's basically, we call it an applique stitch, but it is a hem stitch basically. So you go behind the stitch, so you actually get a little straight stitch on the top. I can take them pins out in a minute. And it is a little invisible stitch basically. So where's my thimble? Right, it took me a while, but I found my thimble in the end. Now I've got to try and find it. Right, here we go. Right. Okay, so as I say, it's go behind that stitch. To have a little bit of the top and a little bit of the bottom, but you do not go all the way round, all the way through to the actual back. That's one thing you don't do. We'll do that later on when it comes to the quilting. So that's it. So keep on going, and then when you actually get to one of your points, let's do this. I get hold of the end of the point, take off my clip, and then just do the stitch again up here to the top of the point, go up to there, then you turn it around, go back down the middle and come up at the end. Don't pull it really tight, otherwise you're going to take off. Just pinch it with your finger like that and your thumb, and there you go. Look how neat that is. That's very neat. So that's it, and then enjoy going round and round your hexagons. So as I say, I am going to get this one done. Glenn's just popped up and told me it's gone lunchtime, so I better go downstairs, and I'll see you out tomorrow. It'll be Sunday tomorrow. I will do the quilting, the hand quilting on this piece. Okay. So there we are. That's going to look a nice little hexagon, that, isn't it? I'm pleased with that. So that's my first little stitchery one that's going to go in my quilt. So yeah, I'm going to carry on with this after lunch. Put that in there, and then yeah, we will do the hand quilting probably tomorrow, but I will add it onto this video. Okay then, I'll see you later. Right then, okay, so let's get started. First of all, I've just thought, I do wear a thimble when I'm doing my hand sewing. Okay then, right, I am set up. I have chosen a nice blue. I thought, why not? Or should I go for the pink? I can't decide now. Oh, I don't know. No, we'll go with the blue. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. Right, so what I do is, now you can just stitch, you know, around and it still looks absolutely beautiful, but I am a little fussy devil. So I have got a 1/4-inch rod. I've had this for so many years, and this is what's called the small applique Hera. You all know I have the big Hera, but this is the smaller one. I love using this, but I don't like that point on the end. I really don't. I might have to see if Glenn can take that off for me actually and shorten it. Oh dear. Anyway, right. So I lay my piece down on the counter, and then I will get my rod. Or you can actually do this. Where is my? There it is. Because I like to do a 1/4-inch in all the way round. Okay, yeah, you can mark up with a pen that you can wash off, or what are they called, the friction pens. Yeah, but I don't like marking the top of anything that I do. So I just lay my rod against the edge there, and then put a little line. There you go. It's only a rough guide really, and then go all the way round. Like so, on all 6 sides. But as I say, if you haven't got the rod or can't get hold of the rod, just use a 1/4-inch guide. You can also get, have I got any in here? Yes, I do. You can also get a 1/4-inch quilting tape. This is actually by, what's it called? So Easy. Yeah, So Easy. And I did buy this a few years ago, and it was only £1.95, so I don't know what they are now. But it's a reusable masking tape that you can lie on your surface like so, and then you just stitch against it, say, and then move around like so on. You know, you can do it that way. There's lots of ways, or you can just do it freehand. As I say, it's entirely up to you. Right then, but I like using my Hera. Okay, so I am actually using a chenille needle because it's got a nice big eye, as you can hopefully see there, and it's got a point on it. Now, yeah, you know, when I first started, you go by the rules, which, you know, yeah, they're all there to be broken. And, oops, there we go. The quilting needles are like the size of that, and you know what I mean, they reckon that you can try and fit so many stitches to an inch on your needle and blah 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 blah. I like my where is my, oh, they're in here, oh, down here, my stitching. I like, see if I've got a planer. Oh, not one you can see would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, okay, we'll do the front. See, I like them quite big, to be honest. And you know what I mean, in my opinion, it's all preference. It's what you like, you know what I mean. It's your quilt, it's your project, it's what you're gonna do. So, you know, it's up to you, in my opinion. So yeah, there's no quilt police here, trust me, no quilt police here. Right then, okay, so yes, you put a little knot in, there we go. There we go. We only need a little tiny knot, and you'll see why in a moment. Okay, right, so let's see if I can tilt you just a little bit more like that, and then I'll see if I can scan up. So I normally start in the middle of one of the straight edges. I just think it's better than having a start and a finish on a point. I'll put my thumb on that line so I know roughly where I am. Go into the back of your work, only into the wadding, and then come up. There we are, actually on your line that you've made, or if you're just freehanding. Okay, now turn that over, and then you tug your little knot. You heard that click, and it hits against the wadding. I like a knotless back, I really do. Okay, and then basically quilting, because this is the stitch that actually fixes the sandwich, which is the 3 layers, the top, the wadding and the backing together. That's basically what it is. And so you go through all 3 layers and just do a run and stitch. You can do, as I said, whatever size that you want to do. So let's go round. I think I'll speed this little bit up for you, and then we'll get to the cast off. We're at the end. So pull the needle through to the back like so. Then I just tie a little knot and push it down like so. There's about a ½ inch gap there between the thread and the knot. Take the needle back into where you just come up, but not through the front of your work. You hit your wadding, and then hit the click yet again. It's all hidden within the wadding. And then what I do, just for a little bit more secure, is I just go do a little zigzag like so, just as I say, through the wadding, not through the actual front of the work. Snip, And there we go. That is that hand quilted. That is what all I would like to do on that. I am using my number 12 Gutermann. I am a big fan of Gutermann threads. I really am. I've always liked Gutermann. Now, to stitch the actual hexagons together, because I'm doing it with the ladder stitch, but I'm going to show that at a later date. I just really want to get the stitchery part shown today. I have actually gone out and brought, it's a polyester thread. I know, whoa, quilting and polyester thread, but you need a stronger thread to pull the ladder stitch in, so it's an invisible stitch. Now Gutermann, yet again, they do a 100% polyester thread, which is a bit thicker, as you can see here, and it is, they write it down as upholstery or extra strong. So this is the one I have chosen. I have chosen personally colour 169, which is a creamy beigey colour, light beige, because it's all going to be hidden within the seams anyway. But this is the thread that I would recommend because it's thicker, it's stronger being polyester. Polyester actually is stronger than a cotton thread because cotton is a natural thread, as you know, as it says in the name. But yeah, so polyester is stronger. So that is what is a good one to use. Okay then, right. So let's lift you up and. There we go. Okay then, right, so let's finish off this tutorial. So this is the little hexagon. So now you can iron this, as I've said before, because you can iron this wadding. You know, it's a cotton, I'm using a cotton mix, which is the most common 80-20. You know, you can pick that up anywhere, but then again, you can use 100% cotton. You could use anything. Do you know what I mean? Even if your budget, I just happen to have some in stash. If your budget doesn't stretch to the 80-20, use a polyester. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, it's the joy of making the project. Honestly, as I say, there's no quilt police here at this in Little Workroom Crafts whatsoever. I am just trying to inspire you on what you can do with these hexagons, and I tell you what, I have thoroughly enjoyed making what I've done so far, and I can't wait. I've just got the waddings to cut out for these, and there's another 2 lots here. I'm not going to put the stitchery in every, because I'm going to lay them out as a flower garden, I think. And but I'm not putting a stitchery in the middle of every one, no way. And as you see with the mixture of fabrics I've got here, yes, I've got Halloween, I've got autumn, obviously, because that's my favourite time of year. You know what I mean? This quilt is going to be a mixture of everything I've got. Or if I'm out on a travels and I pick up a fat quarter, that will be popped in. You know what I mean? It's going to be one of those memory quilts in a way. It really is. So I'm going to be popping Christmas in. I'm going to be popping everything in this quilt. So these, as I say, so now I actually have complete 7. So I have a middle and on the outside. I don't know how big this is going to be. I am just going to enjoy the process and go with it. I really am. So I really hope this tutorial helps you. I really do. It's been so much fun to do, and if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me down below or email me at this address. So yeah, and okay, so please enjoy. I should be back tomorrow with What Have You Been Up To Wednesday, so fingers crossed all that's gone well, and that will go well. So yeah, so I will see you all soon. So please take care, stay safe, and as always, my lovelies, happy crafting. Bye.